And 1, and 2. Greetings and salutations and welcome to the League of Legends Patch Podcast. My name is Ahrtimmer, I am your host for this evening. We also have Ahrtimmer321, say hello.
Hello.
And Real Impact.
It wasn't funny, Greg.
In no way was that funny.
Response. And hello everyone who is listening. Yeah, possibly 6 of you. I don't know.
We're doing the Jayce patch. Now, I skipped a patch, but no champion came out, so I feel justified. So, yeah, you can just read that yourself. Jayce
6 seconds in, and I already ruined the incognito name thing. I'm not good at that.
We ruined it the first podcast. No one cares. Heck, I checked my analytics. No one watches past the first 5 minutes. Still, we do it because we can. We do it because we can. Now, the Jayce patch, so long. So many changes. So let's get right into it. League of Legends version 1.0.0.142. I nearly said 3. It's 142.
Can you give me a link to that?
You get a link. Craig, be my guest. And if you bloop on me, Danny, I will come over there.
Oh, God. Okay, let's see. Ahri. Looks like it's mostly just bug fixes in that for Ahri.
Yeah.
Since therefore no longer occasionally allow Ahri to spell vamp off more than one spell.
And Spirit Rush's damage will now match the tooltip. These are both good things.
Next up, Akali, Crescent Slash. Just energy cost reduction.
As
40
she
at max
levels
rank.
it up. And
And now activates Mark of the Assassin secondary damage.
That's very good.
That's going to help with that burst.
I play Akali quite often. I've had times where I've gotten the champion down from full health to like 20% health, and they've just gotten away from me. And I noticed that my first attack, which is always the Mark of the Assassin blade, is still above their head when they're too far away from me, and it makes me really frustrated.
Yeah. It is really annoying, because you find that as Akali, if they're running from you, you throw your blade, you dash in, you spinning slash, you chase them a bit, you dash, you put down your slow, but you're not doing many auto attacks. So you can often miss out on a lot of extra damage.
Since half of Mark of the Assassin damage is the reactivation of it, since
And yeah, so that'll make it easier to get all her damage potential out, which is...
Oh god, that's going to be painful.
Yeah. They're Akali players, what are you going to do? Alice's getting a nerf on Trample, a slight damage reduction across the board of 3 points, and Triumphant Roar has a much larger early mana cost, starting at 40 instead of 28 mana per cast. That's a good thing. I found, particularly playing AD Alistair, you don't stack up Triumphant Roar, not because you don't want the better heal, but if you get it better, the mana cost isn't worth the heal, and so it's better to leave it at low levels. Now, it won't be. That's only because the low levels are worse, but it still means that if you're going to get Triumphant Roar, you've got to stack it up, or it's not going to be
worth the investment.
And assists have been fixed because of egg stuff. That's a bug fix.
Bug fix. Ashe. Hawkshot now displays the correct buff icon. Caitlyn. Cast time of 90 caliber net has been reduced. Thank God. So many times I turned around to use that and I didn't quite get it off in time.
And they just leave like, huh, what's up?
And Ace in the Hole range increased.
Oh, God.
By 800 at maximum level. And channel time reduced to 1 second.
From 1.25. That's going to make saves
damn
a lot
good.
harder. It's going to make shooting... Oh, my... There is so much that's Yeah,
That-
well, it is a snipe ability, and now it actually has sniping range. You really couldn't use it beforehand.
There were so many times, like, usually this is when I'm outside of a team fight, like, heading in, and I see a guy running off because he's about to die, so it's like, come on, hurry up, get in range! Just wasn't quite long enough range.
You won't have that problem now. 3,000 is huge. Darius, fixed Noxian Guillotine cooldown no longer refreshes on Pon, killing champion clones.
On. Sorry, carry on.
Do we have your permission to continue, Danny? Yes? Okay. I want to speak more about Darius later, but bug fixes. It's just a bug fix. Dr. Mundo, Burning Agony can now be turned off at low amounts of health, and Masochism no longer stops Dr. Mundo from using additional attack animations.
Wait, what?
I believe when you had Masochism on, you always did the same attack.
Yeah, fair enough. So,
It's gonna have no effect on the game. Because Burning Agony, like, the only reason you wouldn't have been able to turn it off at low health is because it's got a health cost to use the ability, and so the game would be going, you don't have enough health to use this ability, and thus you can't turn it off. Now, it would turn off itself anyway, like no, it won't have a serious effect. Yeah. I mean, it might save you about 5 health, but when you've only got 5 health, trust me, you can't kill yourself in League of Legends without the assistance of anyone else. It can't be done. The game doesn't let you, and so that's going to have no effect, and Masochism's just going to look prettier.
Fiora, Blade Waltz, cooldown reduced to 130, 120, 110 from 150, 130, 110. Not a big change, but then again, still remember that game against the Tiamat stacking Fiora.
Tiamat Fiora is the best. It is the best. I do an Illegitimate Legends episode of it, but it's like it should be the primary build for Fiora, because it's just, hey, I'm gonna pop my ult and everyone's gonna die.
I love Fiora now that I'm getting better at Jax, because it's just so cool. She uses her ultimate and just go, I have a spinny stick, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, every time you come down from the sky, you bounce off a stick. Totally owned.
Oh, God.
Gragas is getting a neat little buff. Base health increased to 523 from 493, so that's an extra 30 health.
Armor per level increased by 0.9, and Body Slam. Charge speed increased to 1050 across all ranks, and mana cost reduced to 50 at all ranks.
It used to start at 50 and go up to 70.
I didn't realize that any champion charge speeds increased at over level. I don't think all of them did.
I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. I mean,
I wasn't aware of that either.
Charge was the shittest charge ever, because it's like, oh, I'm a charge at you, raw. It's just really, really slow. It's slow, it's short range, and it hits minions. Like, it's hilarious to watch Gragas try and damage you with it. But yeah, that'll be helpful.
To be fair, Body Slam, if I remember correctly, is actually quite good single target.
Oh, it's a really good move. It's just, I've seen a lot of really pathetic Gragas players try and use it. Usually when I use it, I get kills with it. I'm not dissing Gragas, I'm dissing these players.
Great. I reckon League of Legends needs to have something that gives you a list of the champions you've seen and the amount of time you've seen it. Because I'm pretty sure Gragas is the least seen champion for me.
Nope.
There might be champions for you, seeing as you're still fairly new. Yeah, you're not really, shut up. But
that's what I said for me, like, not in the game.
I think there's champions that you've never seen yet. There's got to be one. Have you seen Karma?
Yeah, I see a lot of Karmas.
How do you see a lot of Karmas? I've seen like 2 in a year. Oh, one of them's a friend of mine.
Along.
Granted, he's like the best Karma player I've ever seen, but that's because I don't see that many Karma players. Jana.
You do it.
Oh, okay, just for a second.
Do you even have the page open?
Yes, and you're right about that, Craig. It does more damage depending on how the less amount of people that are hit by it. His body's name. I just wanted to find out. Okay, Chana Zephyr. Passive movement reduced, which is making me sad, to at all ranks to 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. From, yes, 18. No, wait, why is it?
8,
It's
10,
reduced.
12, 14, 16. There was no 18 there, Danny.
No, sorry, 18.
And slow duration reduced by 1 second.
Which is good, because it's a pretty hefty slow, and no one in the game has a 4-second slow.
Well, not anymore.
Certainly. Well, Twitch. But here's going to get changed soon, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And next one.
The Monsoon cooldown increased at earlier ranks. Oh, it's increased. Wow.
That's unusual.
It used to be 20 seconds at all ranks. Okay.
120.
Thank
Read
you.
the full number.
You're saying 18s when there's 8s and 10s next to each other. You're saying 20 when there's 120. Why do I bring you on the show, man?
Moral support.
Moral support. Yeah. Carthus' Requiem's cooldown has been increased to 200, 180, 160 from 180, 150, 120. That's probably a good thing, because we all know Carthus' ult.
They were pumping up all of the global ults cooldowns.
Well, they are global, which is kind of insane.
I believe the main reason they decided to do the global ultimate increase cooldowns is because Shen was getting banned pretty much every ranked game. And they wanted to see him get played a bit more.
When ranked games started, Shen was getting banned every ranked game. Ranked players hate Shen because it's like, yeah, I'm going to get a kill. Hello. And then he'd come in, score a double kill, and just walk off.
Whenever I play Shen, my first kill is always after I've teleported to someone. It's always after I've teleported.
Such a good champion.
Such fun.
I'm so bad with him. Kanen's attack range has been reduced by 25 points. And his attack animations are now more responsive.
Whatever the hell that means.
I've seen Nick play Kanen quite a lot, and the attack animation is so slow.
There are, I believe, in terms of responsive, they're referring to the times when you've attacked and you fired your projectile, but then you walk away and the projectile just vanishes. There are a few champions where that's an issue with, and so it's like, I'm auto-attacking. No, I'm not. Why aren't I auto-attacking? It happens with Shen, oddly enough. Again, we're going back to that guy because he's a boss. But, like, I'm like, key strike, walk away. It didn't key strike. That minion's not. Damn it! Now the Nine wanted their last hit.
That reminds me of one of my favourite things to do as Jax, is you sit right in front of a minion with your empowered strike, but the third attack from your ultimate, and you just keep clicking the ground, and you hear the constant noise of the massive hit about 1 billion times a second. It's so fun.
You're not a jackhammer, you're a jack.
Jackhammer.
Jackhammer. Great skin. He just swings a jackhammer at people. We're off topic.
Living Artillery, additional cost stack maximum increased to 10 from 5. So basically, max mana cost goes from 200 to 400. But who the hell uses it that many times in a row?
I see a lot of AP Cogmos nowadays. For some reason, they seem to want to go mid. And yeah, that's going to be good, because in team fights, they'll sit at the back and just constantly hit you with it.
Yeah,
increasing mana.
Defending your Nexus more difficult, because, like, you can sit in the mana area and just spam your ultimate to try and protect your Nexus. It's kind of like what Anivia can do, where she puts her ultimate down and then retreats just into the mana zone, and it will kill off the majority of the minions that enter it. Yeah, it's not that good, because champions usually just go around and kill your Nexus anyway. It has similar effects to Cassidon, who stacks up his ultimate on the Nexus, and then, because that gets insanely powerful, and then uses it on the enemy team and insta-kills them all.
This is actually really good since they've released the new Proving Grounds map, because AP Cogmore, very, very good in that map.
That map is amazing. We'll talk about that later. We're up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc's Sigil of Silence missile speed has been increased to 2,000 from 1,400, and Distortion now has some cool stuff. Cooldown has been reduced, and you can double Distort to have 2 different return points by using LeBlanc's ultimate. Having played LeBlanc a lot since that patch, now, I'm not sure if this patch has anything to do with it, but I used to be a terrible LeBlanc player. Like, I haven't played her for months, and when I did, it would just be like, I'm going to play this game and get completely destroyed. I'll maybe have a score of 3-6. Not good.
Mm-hmm. I remember those days.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's only been since that patch, but I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. My scores... I had a game where I didn't die and had 12 kills. Just like, everything in the enemy's face, and Vega is... he rage quit.
Yeah, that's as bad as some of my cat games.
No, your cat games are 24-0, Craig. There's a slight difference.
Oh, God.
Only double the score. Now, go away and stop stealing my kills.
I do like this new patch for LeBlanc because I had, like, a lot of the people that sometimes they used to say that LeBlanc was very overpowered, but then you think when she gets to late game, you can kind of get rid of her quite early in a fight.
The moment you kill her one time, usually it's all it takes. If she's building a stacking item, even if she's not, she'll start off really, really powerful mid, she'll do a few ganks, but the moment you kill her, the moment you survive one of her ganks and fight her off, she loses all her momentum, and she's basically dead for the rest of the game.
So this is good because it gives her a lot faster damage output with her faster Sigil of Silence missile speed. So she
That's
can get
actually
that
really
silence on you
useful
early.
because what you can do is you can do your full combo and
Then get
then
right
get
the hell
Sigil
out.
of, well, no. Then get Sigil of Silence again, and while your chain is attached to them, throw it on them, then the chain does its snare effect, detonating the proc of Sigil of Silence. It's really easy to do that now. That used to be crazy hard. Everything about LeBlanc flows really, really well with that slight missile speed increase. That's a bigger effect to me than the distortion changes were. That said, I barely use the stuff. I mostly just use it to blink into the tower and sigil someone. Lux. Base mana regen per 5 seconds increased to 6.6 from 5.6. You can get 0.6 of a mana per 5 seconds. That means you're getting 0.1 of a mana every second. Wow, that's impressive.
Oh, God.
Mana regen's always nice, so Lux has more now.
Light Binding mana cost reduced to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 from 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. And Finalis Funcone, aka Master Spark. Mana cost reduced to 100 at all ranks from 100, 150, 200. Cast range now displays on the minimap. Thank God! Gonna have to play Lux again.
Yeah.
I like how it can proc your passive when you use it on someone. I think
The
that's
ultimate.
awesome.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It procs and puts another one on. So it's really good in close range. It's also really good at long range because it's a giant freaking rainbow laser.
Mm-hmm.
Misfortune's double up range increased to better match her attack range. And Make It Rain, the slow has been increased. You would never notice. Played her recently, it was like, are you sure they're being slowed? Mana cost has been reduced to 80 at all ranks from 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stationary mana level ups, costs, words. I'm going to stop saying them.
No, keep going. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, but it's interesting how they've been doing that.
Alright, Morgana's got a bug fix so that Tormented Soil actually still damages even if she dies. I had never noticed that before.
Maybe they could make the towers still damage after they die.
I just wish that Singed Poison would stay after he dies. I hate
That
it
would
when
be nice. 'Cause
you get a whole bunch of poison.
Where did it go?
It's so sad.
I mean,
Nautilus.
Yeah.
Dredgeline. Damage reduced at earlier ranks. Still maxes out at 240, but it starts at 60.
Instead of 80?
Cooldown increased at earlier ranks to 18 instead of 14. And it still ramps up to 10. And Depth Charge. Primary target damage reduced at earlier ranks. And cooldown increased at earlier ranks. So that's a bit of a nerf for him.
His early game's going to be a lot harder.
Well, when you think people are building Nautilus not so tanky, but you're still getting very tanky, especially when it first came out.
It is my pet peeve with League of Legends, or Riot Games in general. They release a champion and it's like, we're releasing a tank. And they say it 1,000,000 times. Then the champion comes out and no one builds them a tank and they destroy everyone. It's usually they either play them as an AP or they play them as a DPS. Something about Riot Games, I feel like they put too much potential power into tanks and people take advantage of that. Now, Nautilus is still super tanky, but he can also deal insane damage with just a few AP items. I'm not saying he's overpowered or needs correcting, but there were some issues there, and this should correct some of them.
Nunu, his passive now only requires 5 hits instead of 7 to activate.
Much better jungling.
Consumes damage is increased early on, still maxes at 900.
Instead of 4.
Damage dealt to Dragon and Baron increased to 100% from 50%. I never realized he only dealt half damage to them.
It's interesting how they've done that with Nunu. His ability is better than Smite.
And cooldown reduced to 16, 14, 12, 10, 8 from 18, 16, 14, 12, 10. Absolute 0. Minimum damage of interrupted increased to 12.5% from 0. And maximum damage of interrupted increased to 87% from 70. Thank God for that. So many times I've gone to use it.
It barely does anything.
Like,
you get the
there were
full
so many
thing
times
out
I'd go
every
in to
time.
do it, and as soon as I start channeling, bang, interrupted. It's like, dude, screw you. I just don't know damage.
Yeah.
It's
At least now
really,
you can-
really good ult, and now it's going to be much better, because it used to be really weak. Even if it was really long, if you get an interrupt, it was so much weaker than if they'd got it fully charged. Now they've corrected that a little bit, so you still want to interrupt him, but he at least gets something out of it. Wow,
also-
Orianna changes.
Just before we go, Dorian, this is also very good for a support Nunu, because I notice a lot of support Nunus don't basic attack to get their passive, so they're still costing. Now it's going to be a viable technique to go out there and basic attack a high health minion and then go back into the bush. Now we can move on.
Orianna's global spell cooldown has been reduced to 0.15 seconds from 0.5. That's kind of really good. That ball's going to go all over the place. Sudden redirections. It's really nice.
Oh, I was looking at that thinking, oh, it's only 0.05. No, it's not.
No, it is not. At all.
It's a
Clockwork
big...
Wind-Up. Base damage adjusted to 10 to 50 from 5 to 30. Damage amplification per stack increased to 20% from 15%. Maximum stacks reduced to 2 from 30.
Ouch.
2 from 3. What am I saying? 2 from 30. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you attack the
Anyway.
same person 30 times in a row, and for each time you're dealing 15% increased, because we're talking the old numbers, so 15%. Wow, that would one-shot people by the last one, except that it wouldn't one-shot because you've just attacked them 30 times. What am I talking about? That'd be
And
good on the Baron.
ratio reduced to 0.15 from 0.2. Command attack. Missile speed reduced to 1200 from 1275. Cooldown reduced at later ranks to 6, 5.25, 4.5, 3.75, 3 from 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4. Damage reduced to 60, 90, 120, 150, 180 from 60, 100, 140, 180, 220. AP ratio reduced to 0.4 from 0.6. The ball now responds faster to dissonance and shockwave commands. Good, good. Dissonance. AP ratio increased to 0.7 from 0.5.
Wow.
Command protect. Cast range increased by 100. Ball leash range is increased by 100 when attached to an allied champion. Ball will now respond faster. And shockwave. Cast time reduced to half. Cast time increased to 0.5 from 0.4. Fixed shockwave no longer stuns units for longer than the duration of the movement. And if the ball forcibly leashes back to Oriana, command shockwave will go on a brief cooldown if it is ready.
Okay.
Good God, I am liking those.
I'm curious, with the changes, could you throw the ball and use command shockwave as it travels?
No, I don't believe so.
Because global cooldown's been reduced massively, and the ball's going to be in flight. If it's a long flight, it'll be moving for more than 0.15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only if the ball forcibly leashes back to Oriana.
We shall have to try this at some point.
I like the forcibly leashes back, because I've had times where I use the old thinking it's still up there, and then suddenly I shockwave myself.
Yay! I'm in a magnet bath or something. I don't know what I'm saying.
But other than that, they're really cementing dissonance as the damage ability that it's supposed to be.
Mm.
Because, I mean, that was always the point of it.
Yeah. I keep pressing on because there's a lot to get through. We're like halfway, not even that.
Very true.
Powerball. Mana cost reduced to 70 at the start, 110 at the end from 8. So it's lost 10 mana across the board. That's good. Reduce the spell casting and movement delay after collision. Also good. And defensive bulk hurl mana cost reduced to 40 from 50. So he's going to use up a lot less mana than he used to, and he's going to be able to react after powerballing into someone much quicker, which is so good.
It's good. He's going to be able to be a turtle a lot
hit
more.
Them, and they'd run away before you could get the taunt off, which is...
I hate that. I feel the taunt, the range it tells you is not the range.
Sejuani's run animation now changes according to her movement speed. Yeah, we're up to Sejuani now. Keep up, guys.
Then Shen, Stand United, cooldown increase to 200, 180, 160 from 180, 150, 120. So, once again, global ults going up.
Here's a hint, guys. Get maximum cooldown reduction by level 6, and you'll be wiping 80 seconds off the cooldown. Problem solved.
Bloody hell.
Well, it's more 40% and 200, so yeah, problem solved.
Alright, Singed now has new spell effects for all skins except for Riot Squad, which retains its unique poison trail.
I think that's why they're not giving different poison textures for all of them, because they want Riot Skin to be special, since it's really hard to get.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So many people who want them.
Hymn of Valor, mana cost reduced at earlier ranks, and champion prioritization range slightly increased to better match her attack range.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're more likely to hit champions at longer range. So the abilities range hasn't increased, but it's
got better prioritization.
Yeah.
It feels like it's had that all the time, though, because I haven't played Sona since this update. And I've had times where you've used it, there's just been this massive finger just hit the champion miles away.
It's pretty good.
It's hilarious. I've had hilarious ones. It's like, it was basically a land speed Rammus on the enemy team. Use Hymn of Valor as he's running past me. It could barely keep up.
Eat the yellow swirl, punk.
You say yellow snow.
Yeah, yellow snow.
Astral Blessing, Umber duration reduced to 3 seconds from 5, and Wish cooldown increased to 160, 145, 130 from 120, 110, 100.
It's gonna suck.
That
and
should
you
be
carry
Silvani's
support.
ult. Yellow snow. If an enemy champion walks into it, they vomit and die.
Oh god. And bug fix for Vega so that he doesn't get the champion kill bonus on Baleful Strike from clones.
Aww. Oh, Vega.
Zereth, you do this one, Danny?
Okay.
Yeah.
Locus power, magic penetration bonus increased to 16, 22, 28, 34, 40% from 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's quite a bit at max level, because 40% if you've got a lot of magic resistance. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mage Chain's missile speed increased to... Wow, okay. That's quite a big change.
Don't tell us
is
what it is.
change?
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh
All right.
god.
Okay, missile speed increased to 2100 to from 1700.
You're mumbling now. I still don't know. It's
Don't-
2100
Tell me this thing.
from 1700.
Speak up, Danny.
You speak.
No, you
Alright, ability power ratio increased to 0.8 from 0.7. Okay.
So
That's
think
mage.
of it similar to the LeBlanc changes on the mage chains.
Hmm.
Although damage is going to go up. And locus power, that's really, really good. What's the magic penetration cap?
Actually, don't know what the percentage cap is.
I have issues with things like that because in percentage penetration, if you get all the percentage armor pen you can possibly get, it doesn't add up to the maximum armor. Like the amount that you have when you hit C and look at your champion stats, and the amount that you should have don't add up. You have less than you should, and so I've always assumed that there's been a cap there. Now you still
It's
need
not a...
all the items to get there, but
It's not a cap, it's something like it takes the highest amount of what you've got. So, say for instance, your locus of power is at level 2, so 22%, and you have void stuff, which is 40% magic penetration, I think.
Yep.
It'll do the 40%, and then it'll do the 22%, but the 22% will be reduced, say, to probably like 16%. I don't know the exact number, but I remember reading that it reduces added effects.
So there is,
So it's
yeah,
weird math.
because I've always been like, but there are abilities that go beyond that cap, and so if there's not a cap, then that's not an issue. It just
Like Scion's Ultimate. I was playing him a couple of days ago and got to 147%.
We'll deal with him
bonus
later.
steal.
We'll deal with him after Jayce.
yeah, we have a lot. We've got a bone to pick with Scion.
Alright, Ziggs. Bouncing Bomb. Mana cost reduced by 10 across the board.
Let's make something explode. Bombs everywhere.
My god, you do that well.
I love Ziggs. He's my little homie. I just don't go over to his house often because it's exploded.
Zillion. Chrono Shift now grants assist even if the target does not revive.
Oh, okay. So it's like when you when you heal someone. If you heal the person and they get the kill,
You get the assist even if you never damage the target.
That's cool.
That's
Result-
kind of good because it's potential healing.
Yeah.
Now we've finally made it. We're through the champions. Onward to items. Hovering over items with auras or actives now show their effect radius.
Oh, okay.
That'll be so damn good. I'll actually know the ranges on those bloody things.
Athene's Unholy Grail. The ability power has been increased to 90 from 80, and magic resist increased to 40 from 36. I get the feeling that Riot's like, we've come up with this awesome item, you guys should get it, and everyone's like, no. And so they're like, yeah, well, we're going to make our awesome item better. Who wants it now? And everyone's still like, no. I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'll take it. I love that item. That grail is the best. But no one uses it. What gives, guys? What gives? Buy a grail. Save a golem, buy a grail.
Play Talon by a Grail.
Oh god. Ionic Spark. Combined gold cost reduced to 575 from 775. Total gold cost reduced by 200. And chain lightning damage increased to 125 from 110. Don't really see very many Ionic Sparks anymore, do you?
The only time you do see them are on people who do not need them, like an Alistair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some really stupid people playing LOL. Let's be honest.
That Jayce last night.
Jayce, don't get an Ionic Spark. It doesn't fit your champion at all. I mean, it looks cool when you shoot projectiles and then some little lightning comes out of your giant hammer gun. But what are you doing? What are you doing?
Quicksilver Sash. Combined gold cost increased to 900 from 700, and magic resist reduced to 48 from 56.
I think this is.
Have we ever seen anyone buy that?
No, but I think it's a fair change since it's pretty much the anti-fiddles item when you've kind of just gone into the game and forgot that there's a fiddlesticks.
I've seen like 2 players using it. The only people who get Quicksilver Sash are the ones who use it. They are some of the best players I've ever seen. Because you cannot crowd control them. Just, Sash.
Particularly if they carry Cleanse as well.
It's a really, really good item. It's just underused because it relies on really fast reflexes. You need to know you've got it, you need to know you've got it off cooldown, and you need to use it.
And the Pickaxe, Cloth Armor, Dagger, and Null Magic Mantle now properly display missing item build paths.
I don't understand.
Well,
You know how they updated it to show a lot more of the items that you could build rather than the limited selection?
Alright.
There were some that weren't displaying all the items they were supposed to.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, those aren't displaying. Here we go, they're fixed.
I'm not sure they've fixed it yet. I actually haven't looked, but the problem I have with the changes there, I mean, I like it because it makes navigating the shop so much easier. But I find that they feel like they should be centered more. The ones where there's a massive list, like they used to have 6 and there's
8
now 9 or 8 or 9 different things you can build them into. The last item is almost pushed out of the shop, like it's right on the edge. I'm like, just shift the whole lot slightly to the left. Center them for me and it'll be neat, and my OCD won't drive me mental. Please, Riot, pretty please. Summoner spells, ignite no longer usable on minions.
Yay!
But you can use it on jungle monsters.
I don't know how many times that Aurelia has got back to the tower and there's been a flippin' siege minion on fire and I've just face-palmed the desk. Or face desk.
Face palm the desk. Does that mean that you slap the desk, or you just bash your head?
I lift up the entire desk and hit myself in the head with it.
So it's like a table flip, but into you.
Yeah, table flip the desk into my face. That's what happens.
Oh, God.
Co-op VAI. Bots are now more likely to use abilities while retreating. Bots now properly retreat to their... properly retreat in their base. Thank you. To the summoning platform instead of getting stuck between the Nexus turrets.
Oh, ruining it.
Yeah. Fixed. Bots no longer forget they are being chased. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to run away from you. Oh, where'd you go?
Where am I running?
Oh no, I'm dead. I love bots. Melzahar bot no longer occasionally cancels Nethergrasp. Maybe they could... Actually, have they fixed Nethergrasp yet? Because there's times where it's like, I'm going to use Nethergrasp, and it didn't do anything. Like, I used it, I didn't click away, and then you stopped doing it. Why? Explain. And yet there are other times when I use it, they flash away, and I'm lasering halfway across the lane, just, I'm looking at you.
Oh, God. And re-enabled Alistair bot.
Hooray! I wonder if... I really wish they'd go back to, like... They can keep all the other new bots, but take Alistair Bot's coding back to, like, the original Alistair Bot, where he was just stupid, like, I'm gonna knock you up no matter where the shit you are. I will... You can be using a dash ability that has almost instant damage, and I will knock you up before you hurt me. I will react faster than humans can.
I like to,
Computer.
I like to point out that, you know, the bots, they're getting really good, and the games are becoming like real games. But no matter how hard they try, they're never going to fix the problem where Misfortune will just randomly appear at your base, running through your towers.
Marcy does it too.
Misfortune does it the most to me. I just...
More importantly, they need to fix, in terms of bots, they really need to fix bots targeting stealth champions or champions who are in bushes. Like, I'm standing in a bush. I know they don't know I'm here because they haven't attacked me yet and I've been in here for like a minute. And they've been right outside. And then suddenly they'll target me and just run into the... They're not checking the bush. They've targeted me before they get in there. I'm like, I didn't do anything. What are you looking at me for?
Lex does it so much.
I'm being Tank Eve, so I'm on fire. I'm sitting around the tanky... Not the tanky, the squishies of the enemy team. Like, it's particularly Brand. Like, I'm on fire. You're taking damage for chilling down here. And then suddenly he'll just pull his full combo on me. I didn't do stealth, because, like, he does it, and then he stops and walks away. And I'm like, I'm still stealthed, I've been stunned. Like, what? How did you just do that? Because the first ability you used requires that you target me directly. Like, you don't know I'm here. You're cheating.
Oh, God. And moving on to the general changes. Custom game bots now adjust to players' initial laning decisions before the first minion wave spawns. Dragon and Baron kills will now have a chat message and kill call out if your team gets the kill or sees them die. Yeah, that was actually quite useful.
Or sees them die. Ah, that makes sense.
Spectators will now hear call outs indicating which team kills Dragon and Baron. Updated tooltips for Caitlyn, Graves, Janna, Kog'Maw, Soraka, and Vayne. Champion-only targeting and pet control keys are now bindable.
Yay.
The Proving Grounds. Remove Nexus Turret's health regeneration. Death timer scaling adjusted to an additional second every 60 seconds after 24 minutes from an additional second every 90 seconds after 24 minutes. So you're going to get longer cooldowns quicker. Or longer respawns, I should say.
Mm.
On the Proving Grounds. That means the games aren't going to go forever. Love the Proving Grounds. Want to see more of it. Anyway.
Fixed the improved recoil mastery. No longer causes the recoil sound to keep playing even after the player cancels the spell. Fixed recoil particles no longer appear on champions as they come out of Fog of War.
That was bugging the shit out of me.
Fixed a bug with Ezreal's Mystic Shot range at different levels. Dominion Nexus Crystal now displays over the shrine in Dominion. Fixed the bug where Twisted Fate's Jack of Hearts name did not display properly during loading. And fixed a typo in the air client for Gangplank's Raise Morale.
Hooray! Is anyone noticing, like, we are on the Jayce patch, like, but I'm not seeing anything about Jayce.
They never do.
Yeah, I did notice that, I will admit.
I don't remember skipping a bit. I've scrolled up. I can't find Jayce. I don't have any of Jayce's notes. Let's just talk about him in general, then.
Mm-hmm.
What does everyone think?
Jayce. So fun. Going from long-range artillery to close-range hammer in your fucking face.
Whoa. Chillax there. You're not throwing it at them. You're not allowed to use my line. Have a sword in your face.
Well, at least he doesn't have an axe/sword.
Axe/sword?
Well,
Danny.
in the last one.
It's a sword.
Yes.
Not an axe.
That's right.
It's still a sword. It's always going to be a sword. Riot is lying to every single one of you.
Looks like a cleaver to me, to be honest.
It's long and sharp along the whole length. What
Let's
do you
get back to
mean?
Jayce, shall we?
Yep, Jayce. I've not played him. Not had the pleasure yet. I'm still working up the IP. I don't play as much LoL as I used to, guys. I still play a lot, but not enough to buy every champion with IP as they come out. In fact, I don't think I was ever at that point.
Mm.
But he is fun to play against. Because A, it's really satisfying because most players of him are kind of bad. Let's be honest. They telegraph their moves really well. And it's easy to see when he's going to try and shoot you because he puts the gate up. It's like...
Mm.
And so he's really easy to dodge. If you don't dodge, it hurts like... Just... Ow! But it's fun to watch. Oh, there's the gate, and... Dodged. He can also deal a lot of damage. I've actually never had a good one against me, and only ever had good ones on my team. Well, no, that's not entirely true. There've been a few bad, but I've had some really good Jayce players with me.
I'd like to point out the funniest thing I saw was there was a Nivea on our team and Jayce on the enemy team. Jayce put down his gate and it went, no, wall! Just right inside his gate.
Does his projectile detonate on walls?
No, it wasn't so much that, it was the speed buff, because they were chasing us.
Ah, yeah.
So he just was in the speed gate, so he couldn't...
Oh, God. But,
That's awesome.
the acceleration gate and shock burst combo is really, really good because, like, obviously, if they're not as good at dodging, it's a good harassment move. And outside of that, I've played artillery with it. Like, I'll set it up in a bush that I'm about to run through. Like, this is obviously when I know no one's in there. Set it up in a bush I'm about to run through that's outside of, say, the mid lane champion's vision range. Shoot through it and just run away. Just artillery strike from nowhere.
Nice.
But-
I have a few, like, not problems with Jayce. I really, really like Jayce. I love the concept of champions that can switch between ranged and melee. Needly is great. I feel that Jayce is a better example of that because, well, you don't see Needlies doing different builds depending on what they focus on. They pretty much all do AP. Unless you're me, but let's get... Yeah, so Jayce is really, really cool champion concept. All of his abilities are really nice. I would have liked to see... I had the idea a little while ago, the idea of abilities that synergy, kind of like you've got with the gate, but have one of them, one half of the ability be on the hammer, and then the other half be on the cannon. And so you have to swap halfway in between to give like a high skill play synergy ability. But that would be... It'd be really difficult to work because of the cooldown on swapping between them. You can't just willy-nilly do it. You need to time your swaps well, and so if you had an ability, like a really good ability combo, which used a switch in form, you see why it would be hard. But
Would certainly be nifty, though.
that's something that would be cool. Maybe not for Jayce, but maybe for another champion. Well, it's definitely not for Jayce because Jayce doesn't have it. That said, everything else about Jayce is cool. He looks good. He could do with another skin. Riot, you used to do 3 skins. There was a time when you had 3 skins for every single champion. And then you ruined it. You released Varus, and now Jayce. What are you doing to me, boy? I tried to say boy and guys at the same time. It didn't sound right.
Yeah, when they upped their standard for skins and whatnot, they... I guess it got a bit harder to make sense since they had to make a completely different voice for each one.
Yeah, the quality of each skin is much better. I'm not blaming them because they've put a lot more work in. Like the quality of everything in the game is just constantly going up, and I love Riot for that. But I feel like I want more. Varus and Jayce, though, are both very hard to skin for. Like, what do you do with a man with a hammer that transforms into a gun? Ideas?
Yeah, because you can't really do a Thor skin.
Well, Riot's idea was Samus. So.
Samus.
Or however you say that, his name.
Actually...
Lady Metroid? Are we talking about the same Samus?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really seeing Samus in there.
She,
Just the mask.
Nah,
okay.
mind you though, I reckon they probably got inspiration from from some of the more recent Metroid games, because I believe in Metroid Prime, I can't remember which number it is, but Corruption. I believe there are basically marine sort of enemies in there, and they do have similar armor, I believe. So I think they might have got inspired by
Jayce.
that, but
Okay.
they wouldn't rip off Samus with Jayce.
No,
He doesn't have the figure!
And then some. She doesn't have the weapon. More accurately, why has this not occurred to either of you? Samus
Did, but I
Jack
was
shoots
trying
with
to
a
make
hand.
a joke. You know me, my jokes tend to fall a little flat.
I know. Mine are, I'm not a funny person. People laugh at what I say. I don't understand. Speaking
Anyway.
of obscure skins, the last thing I want to do while we're still in the main part of the patch podcast, I want to say that I really, really want to see an Adam Jensen, that is the main character of
Human
Deus
Revolution.
Ex Human Revolution. Thank you, Craig. I want to see a that style of augmentation, so an Adam Jensen styled skin for Varus, because the way his arms are all covered in corrupty goo and legs the same. You just do that, but have it sort of the black carbon fiber mechanical parts. And I'm not sure what you do with the bow, but make it some sort of super carbon fiber technological looking weapon. It would look fantastic. Copyright infringement would be like, but you'd be careful, and there's no issues. Like, you've got... Do we still have Bowser Ramus kicking around? No, he's exclusive now, isn't he? But still, you can pull it off and not have copyright problems. You're usually pretty good at that.
And if not, everyone in the fan community who makes skins, get on it.
Yeah, I want that skin.
Actually, I'll have to take a troll through Leaguecraft later on and see if they've done it.
Yes, indeed. Okay, that concludes the main part of the show. You can stick around if you want, and we'll talk about some of the just stuff we want to talk about LOL. If not, bye. Okay, let's talk about some cool stuff. Let's talk about Scion.
Ah, yes, our favorite rage topic.
Let's be honest. Let's get it out in the open. Scion's overpowered.
Well, I want to find out what other people think, because I looked up on League of Legends Reddit site and looking up Scion OP to see if anyone else has said it. No one seems to. Everyone questions why isn't he used in ranked games? What's wrong with him? And there's even some people that say he needs a buff. But I want to know, am I missing something? Because I can't beat him.
What are we missing? Okay. Let's look at this. Scion's ultimate. Danny, do you know the facts and figures off the top of your head, or does someone have to go and
I do.
get it?
I do. It's throughout the levels. It's 50. Level 1, he gets 50% lifesteal, 50% attack speed for 20 seconds. Level 2, still the same attack speed, but 75% lifesteal. And then at level 3, it's 100% lifesteal. So this lifesteal is unique, as in it doesn't reach the 100% cap. Because if you have any lifesteal before that, it'll go over 100%.
There
So if you
never
build
was a
Bloodthirsters,
100% cap. Bloodthirsters aren't unique yet, are they?
Nah, lifesteal isn't unique, unlike Spellvamp.
They really should get on that. I want that to be unique. But it used to be that if you got just Bloodthirsters, and it still almost is, but if you got just Bloodthirsters back when they were 25%, you got them all fully stacked up, you would have 150% lifesteal. So with one Bloodthirster, Scion's ultimate puts him easily above 100% lifesteal. He also has insane damage. With any lifesteal item, even at level 1, his W ability, it doesn't actually cost him health. It says it does, but all it's really doing is taking away from your lifesteal, because you're going to do enough damage to take it back. More importantly, let's talk about the ult's duration. How long does it last?
I would... 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Who else has an ultimate that lasts 20 seconds?
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Except for champions that toggle their ultimates, like Anivia, and even then it's got a mana cost that inhibits that. Like, Mundo's...
Well, even Tarek's...
Mundo's, I believe, lasts 8.
I'll have a look. Got him right here.
That's the big problem with it. It just lasts
12.
It's
long.
not the fact that it's really, really powerful, or not the fact that it lasts really long. It's the fact that it does both. 100% lifesteal is absurd. If you had a Tryndamere who didn't need to build Bloodthirsters to get 100% lifesteal, I would leave the game. I would stop playing LoL. Well, maybe not Tryndamere because he uses his ult and he gets better with low health. You don't want that much lifesteal on him. But if you had... Let's talk Graves. Crazy, crazy DPS coming out of that guy. If he had 100% lifesteal, you couldn't kill him. And you can't kill Sion. He also has a phenomenal amount of health because he gets more health every time he gets a last hit, provided his W is turned on. E. I apologize. His E is turned on.
One other thing about cannibalism as well is it provides half of the lifesteal he gets is provided to his allies in an aura as well.
25%.
No, I'm looking at the numbers on the wiki. Yep. At level 1, so when he gets 50%, his allies get 25. 75%, 37.5, 100%, 50% lifesteal.
I'm not saying that you need to change the ult. I'm saying reduce the duration substantially. Like, I want it to be no more than 10 seconds, probably 8, because Mundo's got an insane heal. No matter how much health you put on Mundo, Sion will always be able to out-heal him with his ult, simply because of duration and his damage potential.
You're right, Craig. It is 50%.
Then...
Either reduce the duration, or reduce the power, or reduce them both by a substantial amount. It's too good! You build a damaged Scion, you get one Phantom Dancer, a Bloodthirster, and then whatever the hell else you want, and you can't fight him once he turns his ultimate on. You have to run away, and running away for 20 seconds is the game lost.
If you look at, if you think, you can just... hit him from afar, get your range carries to kill him. He can stun, which means that locks down that person who's the one who's killing them from afar.
With his insane increased attack speed and powerful damage, and kill them. He ignores towers because he just puts his bubble up. I'm not saying everything is wrong with him, but it's the fact that everything works so really, really well to make him into an unstoppable powerhouse once he turns his ultimate on. You could ignite him. He's still getting 50% lifesteal. That can get you upwards of 500 health a hit if you got decent crit rates and an infinity edge. Sion can get with a decent item build, particularly a finished item build. He turns his ultimate on for 20 seconds. He's getting easily 1,000 life back per swing, and he'll have close to max attack speed.
And of course, that's just on the AD Scion. If you swap over to AP Scion, like I'm looking at his ratios here. Cryptic Gaze, 1.5 second stun, 300 base damage. That is a very high base damage right there for an ability. And a 0.9 AP ratio. That is better base damage and ratio than Annie's Disintegrate.
Wow.
Annie's got about a 0.7 ratio, I believe. Moving on to Death's Breath. So his shield lasts up to 10 seconds, can be detonated... let's see. With the shield, which absorbs damage for up to 10 seconds. After 4 seconds, if the shield has not been destroyed, the ability can be cast again to explode it. Otherwise, it just detonates at the end of the 10 seconds. However much health is left on the shield is the damage it deals. Max level, 300 base shield. Once again, 0.9 AP ratio.
It drives me mental. I think we've rambled on about this long enough. Now, I don't have that much, but, like, he's really, really powerful AD, he's really powerful AP. I like that he's a champion that you can basically get whatever items you want and it'll work. I don't like that it works so well. If you have a jack-of-all-trades champion, which he kind of is, because you can, like I said, you can build any items. I personally build him as a tank. I get a whole ton of health on that guy, and get an Ahrtimmer's Impaler, and that means every time I get a kill, I'm getting more damage, and I'm getting more health. Not much more damage, it's like a fraction of a percent. Well, it's not a fraction of a percent, but it's a fraction of a 0.1. So it's a small amount.
Yes.
But you're getting progressively stronger, you're getting really powerful, you've got so much health that people can't bring you down. But it's not that dangerous in the long run. If you build him AD, you end up fairly tanky regardless, because it's really easy to get last hits, and he'll just mow down everything. And AP, same. He gets really easy last hits because he just turns his bubble on and then explodes. Last hits everywhere. So much damage, really hard to bring down. He's effectively tanky because of the shield. It can take so much punishment. At the same time, he's got a really powerful stunt. He's got 3 really powerful builds. The tanking one isn't that good. I'm going to be honest. I play the worst Scion build. But between his potential for AP damage and his potential for AD damage,
and
I'm
don't
now
forget,
surprised that no one does a hybrid.
don't forget his passive either.
What is his
40%.
passive?
40% chance to ignore, obviously this ranks up as he levels, 30, 40, or 50 damage from auto attacks. Admittedly, that is done before the rest of the damage calculation, so before armor and percentage reductions come in.
Yep.
But that's still 40% chance of ignoring 50 damage.
There have been times where I've seen a Scion, like, the enemy team will be kind of pushing the lane. They'll be sieging us a little bit. It won't have lasted very long. It doesn't look like they're likely to stay. There'll be 2 of them there, maybe 2 champions defending. It's not a serious fight. In walks Scion. He will tower dive, kill both the players, destroy the tower, press on, do serious damage to the next before your team rocks up. He can just stop, crush your team. I feel that his ultimate needs a bit of a nerf.
I know the ultimate reduced the AP ratios a bit.
Yeah, I would also like to see a percentage of the damage be taken from his own health when he uses in range, and rather than the really pathetic 16.
That would be interesting. That would make it so that you can't just get in rage at the start, get a vampiric scepter, and then never turn it off.
Because you never see Scions turn the damn thing off.
Yeah, once they get it, it stays on.
Also, if you look at his damage increase when he uses in range, Fiora, she's got a similar kind of thing, where it increases by 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 max level. Scions can get up to 65 at max level. No one else has that much extra AD.
Mundo.
So is that 65?
What was
Mundo, yeah, but that doesn't... It only lasts a short time. It gives him 100 extra damage plus, 1
for each percent of health missing.
1% of health is missing. But that's a short duration. It costs a massive chunk of health at the start. Well, not that massive, but it costs a chunk of health at the start, and it's temporary. It's not something you can leave on. Scions is. It effectively becomes a passive because you get it, you turn it on, you don't turn it off, ever. And...
Oh yeah, Muno's actually is increased to 100 at level 5. That's quite a bit. But
again,
right,
it's not a passive. It's not as powerful a move. It's also not granting him increased health every time he lands a last hit. Anyway, despite all our rage, we are still just nerds in a game. Doesn't quite rhyme, but shut up. I want to talk about Darius. there's still been a lot of talk about him being OP. I'm not gonna say he is. I don't personally think Darius is overpowered. He's a very powerful champion, but he can't. Like he doesn't feel overpowered to me. There's one thing I want to say though. I'd like it if Noxian Guillotine, Darius's ultimate, it like consumed all the bleed stacks currently on you.
Yeah, that would be nice, but we've got to realise now is that's getting removed from Twitch. That was my main reason for wanting it to happen, because when you use Expunge with Twitch, all the poison stacks would go away. Now they don't. So...
It feels to me that, like, I'm comparing him to Garen in this, because you pop your ult as Garen, that actually stops you moving for a short time. If you pop your ult before it's going to kill them, like if they leave with 100 health after you use your ult, or anything less than that, they're probably going to get away from you. If you don't time your ult right, they've escaped. With Darius, you pop your ultimate, if they've only got 100 health left, they'll bleed to death.
Doesn't reach the first.
I wanted to, like, because I mean that would have, if it consumed the stacks, it wouldn't have a serious impact on
the move itself.
On the move itself, because you're still gonna want to land it for last hits. But it means that if you fail, if you don't last hit effectively with it, if you don't time your ult right, you don't still get the kill. Unless you can somehow follow it up with a powerful chase and finish them off. Make it so that it's kind of like how it was where if you used your ultimate and an enemy champion killed them within a really short duration, you still got it refreshed. I want a similar correction to what they did with that by taking that out so that you want to last hit with it. Bring it back so it's more in line with Garen's ultimate in that regard. I don't know. Regardless, I don't think he's overpowered. Is there anything else we can talk about?
No, we better leave the remakes until the next one, which might be next weekend, as opposed to 2 weeks away, depending on when we patch it.
Stealth remake. So many champions are getting changed. I'm so excited. Also, I just got a comment on a YouTube video. 6 Phantom Dancer Warwick. Try it out. Anonymous internet user. D-Man S1990. I will do that. I will try the shit out of 6 Phantom Dancer Warwicks, because I reckon 6 Phantom Dancers on any champion will just win.
That's interesting. Just as a little side note here, I just went to the homepage of the LoL Wiki, and it's actually got upcoming champion reworks. Now, I mean, we know gameplay-wise, Xin, Twitch, and Evelynn.
Yep.
With Twitch and Evelynn being the big ones, are coming in the next patch.
Yep.
Visual remakes, Soraka and Katarina. And visual and gameplay, Karma, is in the works.
But I love Karma. I reckon she's perfect.
Well, we'll see how big a rework she gets.
She's really undervalued, but she's a really good champion. Anyway, we've gotten so off topic that we've started looking at other websites. It's time for us to go. I've been Ahrtimmer. The guy to my left has been... Why don't you say? I want to know if you get it right.
Let's see here. I'm going to guess... It would be Danny to your left.
Wrong! You are wrong! Left is north.
I'm Real Impacts, aka Craig. I'll catch you guys next time.
And Danny should sign off as well, because
I am Danny.
Justify your reason for being on this show.
Because Will said to me.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, God.
I was in the call, it all started, I have no idea what I'm doing.
How did I get here? Thank you, and good night.